You knew this would be coming. How could I not talk about the biggest Skyrim mod ever made? So today, I'll take a look at Enderal, a total conversion mod for Skyrim. Now, while Enderal by definition is still a mod as it runs on the base Skyrim game, it is probably more fitting to call it an entire new game. Sure, it runs on the Skyrim engine and uses its base gameplay mechanics, but the world, story and many assets in the game are completely different from Skyrim's. If you played Skyrim, a total conversion mod for Oblivion made by the same people, you know exactly what you're in for. You get to explore a whole new continent and experience a much more involved and intense story than the one in Skyrim. And of course, Enderal looks a lot better than Skyrim. The footage you're seeing right now was recorded without any graphical mods installed. As you can see, it basically looks like modded Skyrim, with thicker vegetation, better water, new textures and additional weather effects. But all this beauty comes at a price of performance. Enderal is much more demanding than Skyrim is. It's also not very well optimized, with heavy frame drops in certain areas even going down into the 30s. I would assume that this is not really the mod's fault, but rather a limitation of the Skyrim engine, which was never really well optimized to begin with. If you want to play Enderal at a somewhat acceptable frame rate, I do recommend that you should be able to run vanilla Skyrim at 60 plus FPS on high to ultra settings first. But then again, the mod is totally free and there's no harm in trying it for yourself. I have played a few hours so far, and the main story and quests in general seem to be a lot more involved and generally better structured than Skyrim's quests. The story itself is very well written, and the voice acting is, in my opinion, even superior to Skyrim's in some places. Of course, since the mod was developed in German, the German script and voice acting is a little better than the English one. Speaking of German, you will most likely encounter some untranslated things in the mod. At least I did. Nothing major of course, but some of the tooltips were still displayed in German. I'm sure this will be fixed by the developers in a later update, but I just want to let you know. As for the gameplay, well, it's almost identical to vanilla Skyrim. At least so far the combat was identical, although I will say that the enemies act a little smarter than they do in Skyrim. The only thing that is completely different from Skyrim is the character progression. You're no longer leveling up your skills by, well, doing things that represent those skills, but rather by leveling up your character through experience points. You will receive experience points for killing enemies, discovering new places, and progressing quests. Once you've earned enough experience points, your character will level up, granting you memory points, crafting points, and learning points. Memory points are used to acquire new perks, similar to those in vanilla Skyrim. Learning points can be used together with a skill book, which will then raise a certain skill of yours by 1 point. Crafting points do basically the same thing, but this time for your crafting skills. So, to put it in simpler terms, Enderal builds on vanilla Skyrim's mechanics, but adds some improvements to make it feel different. And I think this is all I can tell you at the moment. So, if you got a little fed up with playing Skyrim and want to experience something new, or you're just trying to bridge the gap until Skyrim Special Edition comes out, I have no problem at all recommending this mod to absolutely everyone who owns Skyrim on PC. If you want to check it out for yourself now, the link is in the video description, as is a link to a video that will show you how to install Enderal. That's it for me though, so I will see you in the next video.